All right, let's talk about something that might just flip everything you think you know about money on its head. It's a simple but really powerful idea. True wealth is what you don't see.
So let me ask you something. You see a brand new $100,000 Porsche driving down the street. What's the first thing that comes to mind? That the owner's successful? Rich? That they've totally made it? Well, what if I told you that's not really the whole story? Here's the thing. The only thing we know for sure when we see that car is that its owner's net worth is now $100,000 lower than it was before they bought it. That's it. It's just simple math, but it completely changes how we should think about flashy displays of money. In this idea, it leads us straight into what you could call the Porsche paradox. Honestly, the best way to get it is through a quick story about a valet. So this is Roger, a tech executive in Los Angeles. Every single day, he'd pull up to his job in this gorgeous, gleaming Porsche. To the valet parking his car, he was the very picture of success. I mean, he was the man, the definition of rich. But then one day, poof, the Porsche's gone. And in its place, a battered-up old Honda. It was such a dramatic change that one of the valets just had to go up and ask him, hey, what happened? And Roger's answer was shockingly simple. The car had been repossessed. He couldn't make the payments. That whole image of wealth he was showing off every single day, well, it was just that, an image, propped up by a loan he just couldn't afford. And bam, that story just perfectly sums up the big idea here. The great, kind of crazy irony of money is that wealth isn't the fancy car, the designer clothes, or the over-the-top vacations. No, wealth is the financial assets that you haven't converted into the stuff you see. Okay, so this gets us to a really, really important distinction we have to make. The difference between being rich and being wealthy. Trust me, they are not the same thing, and confusing them can be a super costly mistake. Let's break this down. Being rich, that's all about your current income. It's visible, it's flashy, right? It's the big paycheck that lets you go out and buy that luxury car. But being wealthy, that's totally different. It's invisible. It's the income you don't spend. It's the money that's quietly growing in your bank account and your investments. See, richness is all about spending, but wealth is about owning assets that give you freedom, that give you options. It's the nice car you could have bought, but chose not to. It sounds almost like a joke, but this quote from Rihanna's financial advisor just nails it. He literally had to sit down and tell one of the biggest pop stars on the planet this super simple truth. And it's a reminder for all of us, right? When you spend money on things, well, you end up with the things, not the money. And this is such a huge mental trap that so many of us fall into. When people say, I want to be a millionaire, what do they really mean? Think about it. They're usually picturing a lifestyle where they get to spend $1 million. But that is the literal mathematical opposite of being a millionaire, which by definition means having a net worth of at least $1 million. So this all leads to a really big problem, what we can call the invisibility problem. If real wealth is hidden, if it's what we don't see, then how on earth are we supposed to learn how to build it? Okay, here's a good way to think about it, like fitness. Spending a high income is like doing a really hard workout. It's visible, you feel it, you're sweating, and you feel like you deserve a reward, a big treat. But building wealth, that's more like the net calories burned. It's the invisible result that comes from choosing the healthy meal over the treat. It's all about self-control, not self-reward. So this raises a huge question, right? If the key is all this quiet self-control and saving, why is it so darn hard to find wealthy role models? Why aren't our heroes the people who are quietly stashing their money away? Well, the answer is pretty simple, and it's this role model problem. Rich is loud. It's all over your social media feed, it's on TV, it's the neighbor who just pulled up in a brand new car. But wealth, by its very nature, it's silent. It's hidden away in brokerage accounts and retirement funds. And here's the kicker. We can't learn from what we can't see. Just think about that guy, Ronald Reed, the janitor who secretly built up an $8 million fortune. Nobody had a clue he was wealthy until after he died. He was the perfect role model for building wealth, but he was completely invisible. And this, right here, is really the bottom line. Our world is absolutely full of people who look modest but are truly wealthy. And at the same time, it's full of people who look incredibly rich but are living on a razor's edge, just one missed paycheck away from disaster. Just like Roger the valet. What money looks like is often a terrible, terrible indicator of someone's actual financial health.
So, the first step to building real wealth isn't some complicated financial strategy. It's a mental shift. It's just getting your head around the idea that wealth is what you don't spend. But, of course, that begs a pretty big question, right? If you're not supposed to spend it, then what exactly are you supposed to do with it? Well, that is a great question, and it's exactly what we're going to dive into next time.